Hello and welcome to part 3, that is the Meghalaya Lower Division Assistant, and we'll continue to solve the part C, that is the mathematics section. So let's continue with our question. That is question number 131. So how many numbers between 1 and 200 are divisible by 7? Is it option A, option B, option C, or option D? Let's take a closer look at this question. So we're given how many numbers between 1 and 200 are divisible by 7. Is it 28, 26, 25, or 30? Now, we need to understand what divisible by 7 means. So we want numbers like 7, 14, 21, up to 200. Now, these are multiple of 7 because 7 times 1 would be 7, 7 2 would be 14, 7 3 would be 21, up to 100. So we need to find numbers that is between 1 up to 200 that are divisible by 7. So if I try to divide 7 by 7, that will give me 7 and that will leave no remainder. Same case for 14, no remainder. We can use the direct formula, that is the fast method, to find how many multiple of 7s are up to 200. So we can count them. So that'll be 200 divided by 7. That will give me 28.571. Now we take only the whole number part, so we round them. So that will be 28. Now why 28? Because 7 times 28, that will give me 196. And if I do 7 times 29, that will give me 203, which is too big. Now, if you look at the option, we see that option A is the correct answer. So the last multiple of 200 is 196, which is the 28 multiple. Now, next question. A man spent 1/7 of his salary on his food, 1/2 of the remaining salary on clothing, and 1/3 of the remaining salary on entertainment. So he's left with 6,000, that is the remainder. So we need to find the man's salary. Is it option A, which is 25,500, option B, which is 21,000, option C, which is 22,500, option D, which is 25,000. Now we can use the backward method to solve this question. Instead of starting from salary, we can start from the last remaining amount, which is given, which in our case is 6,000. And we can use this approach, which is whole equal spending plus the remaining. Now in maths, when we talk about fraction of something, 1 means the whole amount. At that stage, whatever money he has, or 100%, we can represent that as 1. Now I can write that as remaining equals spending minus the whole. So remaining is given, which is 6,000, equal spend is also given, which is 1/3 of the remaining on entertainment. So minus 1. Here 1 represents whole or 100% of his salary. Now before we proceed any further, I would like to solve this fraction section with an example. So let's take a look at a real life example. Imagine we have a pizza, and I could write that total pizza equal to 1, which represents 100%. If you ate 1/3 of that pizza, what remain is 1 minus 1/3, meaning whole minus the 1/3, what you ate. Now, I need to match the 1, that is the whole value, with the other fraction, that is 1/3. I can simply use the denominator of the other fraction, multiply it to the numerator and the denominator of whole, which is 1 times 3, and 1 times 3, that will give me 3/3. Now I can subtract those fractions, that is 3 minus 1, that will give me 2, and the denominator, which is the LCM, that will remain the same, so that will be 2/3. Now, we have 2 slices left out of 3. We can count them, which is 1 and 2 slices left out of 3. Now let's continue solving our question. Now 1/3 minus 1, that will give me 2/3. Now 6,000 equal 2/3. Now if I take 2/3 to the other side, now 2 would be the denominator and 3 would be the numerator, and the sign will be times 6,000. Now if we simplify this, I will get the amount of 9,000. So the amount before entertainment was 9,000. Now let's move on to the other part of the question, which is before clothing. Now from the question, he spent 1/2 on clothing. So he had 1/2 left. Same process. 9,000 equal 1/2 minus 1. Now that would give me the same fraction, which is 1/2. You can use the same process, which we discussed with pizza. So 9,000 equal 1/2. That will give me 2/9,000. because 1 will be a denominator now, and we don't really need to include 1. So that'll be 2 times 9,000. And the amount would be 18,000. So the amount before clothing was spent was 18,000. Now let's take a look the amount before food, or the original salary. Now he spent 1/7 on food. So he had left, that is 6/7. We can use the same approach, which is whole equals spending plus remaining. So we have remaining equal 18,000 equal 1/7 minus 1. Now if we try to match the other fraction, which is 1 times 7 over 1 times 7, that will give me 7/7. Now if I subtract those fractions, 7 minus 1, that will be 6/7. So 18,000 equals 6/7. Now if I bring fraction to the other side, that will be 7/6 times 18,000. So the original salary equal to 21,000. Now if we look at the option, we see that option B is the correct answer, which is 21,000. Now we can move on and solve this same question using the faster method, or the exam trick. So we are given 6,000 as a remainder. We can multiply with entertainment times clothing times food. When we try to multiply fraction of entertainment, clothing, and food, we need to use the LCM method, or the value that has already been, or the finalized value, that is 3/2 times 2 times 7/6. We cannot simply use the fraction given, which is 1/3, 1/2, and 1/7. We need to use the LCM of those fraction value to get these value, which is 3/2 times 2 times 7/6. Now if we simplify this, I will get 21,000, which is the same answer. Now let's move on to the next question. If 1/3.718 would give me 0.2689, so we need to find the value of 1/0.0003718. We're given 4 options, which is option A, option B, option C, or option D. Now from the question, 1/3.718 equal to 0.2689. So we need to find the value of 0.0003718. The first thing we need to do is to convert this 0.003718 into 3.718. Meaning we need to find how many places must we move the decimal. So let's try to move the decimal. 0.003718, that is 1, and that will be 2, 3, and then 4. So as you can see, we need to move 4 decimal places to get 3.718. That means 3.718 would be divided by 10,000. So there is 4 0. That would equal to 0.0003718. Now we know that 3.718 is divided by 10,000. We can simply multiply it with the value, which is 0.2689 times 10,000. That will give me 2689. So the answer is option A, which is 2,689. You can try to solve this same question but different value using the same approach. That is, if 1/4.25 equal to 0.2353, then you need to find the value of 1/0.000425. So you're given 4 options. You can try to solve this, and if you're done, you can comment down the answer. Let's move on to the next question. If A ratio B ratio C equal to 3 ratio 4 ratio 7, you need to find the value of A, B, and C over C. Is it option A, option B, option C, or option D? This question is pretty straightforward. You can simply substitute the value into the variable. That will be A plus B, that is 3 plus 4 plus 7 over 7. That will be 14 over 7. Now if you divide that, that will give me 2. 7 times 2 would be 14. That's it for this video. If you find this video helpful, you might want to consider subscribing and like it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.